Hey everyone, welcome to Dave's Bonsai. On today's episode, I've got some maples that want a really nice pot. Welcome to Bonsai Acres. Welcome everyone inside the passive solar green frame where the sun continues to shine on this glorious day. A little chilly, wind keeps us in check, but I have 3 maple seeds that came from the tree from my neighbor's yard, just right over here, just above the PSGF, and the blue spruce is a maple tree that keeps sharing all the seeds. These have been growing for a year or two. There's 3 different sizes, there's 5 of them. How about a forest? Let's do it. I've got a beautiful Sarah Rayner pot here. I want to use my Sarah Rayner pots, and are these trees too young and small and to put into a pot? Probably, but I love forests. I want to display forests, and I want to get that in a pot and see if I can make that work. So there we go. So the forest is going to center around these 2 trees that already are fusing together in the root pattern down below. So that is exciting. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to give this thing a really nice profile prune here because it is taking shape. Maples, of course, of all kinds, growing ferociously. You can cut them back hard. You're pruning them hard. Roots and branches, and you're going to get all kinds of new growth. So these were just in a training pot, the 5 of them, plucked out of the ground in the last couple of years, or from my own bonsai pot. Sometimes they just all of a sudden appear in my bonsai pot. They appear in the pond that I have, and they just start growing. So I've always wanted to make a maple forest, and of course I have to laugh when I say that out loud because every time I think about making a bonsai forest, I have the voice of one of my Minnesota Bonsai Society members in the back of my mind. And they didn't tell me this, but they told someone else this, and I just find it an interesting comment, but I understand the comment. And the comment was something like this: well, you're going to have fun with that one. Something like that, because they're a lot of work, right? Deciduous trees can be a lot of work. Forests are a lot of work. And the reason why this person said it was a lot of work is because, well, when you try to make bonsai tree forests have that second flush of growth sometimes, or even in a single tree, you're going to go ahead and defoliate all the leaves. You take out all the leaves, and then when the second flush comes back, it looks all nice and lovely. And when we defoliate it, that's a lot of leaves to defoliate, right? So that's the place where this person was when talking about, hey, yeah, you're gonna have fun with that one, right? So they can be a lot of work. But you know what? Nothing in life comes easy. And if we are going to do this the right way, there are a lot of things that I could be doing better with certain trees to do it the quote-unquote right way. Just the fact that I'm putting this into a bonsai pot so young in these lives, but I have a really nice pot. It'll fit nicely in here as a forest instead of just one tree. And so I'm really excited about that. And I like looking at trees in nice pots, not just a whole bunch of training pots. So that's what we're going to do. And look at these roots that I keep cutting off. Oh my goodness. This is just from a year or 2 in this pot, or the pot it came from. And so after taking off all these roots, we're going to organize this into a pot and just make a really nice small little forest of 5. We like odd numbers, especially when there's not very many trees. And that odd number is going to provide a nice look. So I'm just profile pruning these things so we get rid of most of the outside roots, and this is going to continue to shoot out a whole bunch of new roots as we go. Look at all those roots. That is crazy. Look at all the roots on this one. That is crazy. But if we don't prune our roots, people ask a lot of times like, oh my gosh, why are you pruning those roots? And oh my gosh, you guys are torturing your trees. Oh, there's people who don't know, of course, what we do. It's like cutting grass. I used that analogy in my last workshop. Think about when we cut our grass. Everybody wants this perfect lawn, and we cut the grass, right? And the more we cut it, the thicker it gets. We sometimes aerate the ground, kind of like the oxygen in our soil. And we're trying to get a real pretty thick green grass, and it keeps ramifying and growing more and more. And yeah, so we do that with our grass. We're doing that with our trees. And we're getting rid of all these long spindly roots that I just showed you in the other view before I started cutting. And now I've cut it down to some stubs here, and this is going to continue to grow, and it's going to continue to ramify. And then we won't have the long spindly roots, but we'll have a big old mass of roots that'll be all growing together, ramifying, and we will be able to have a really wonderful tree. Now, I'm not going to wire these in because I just don't feel that I have to. Mediums on the bottom and then small on top. And now these are maple trees, so a lot of akadama and pumice together are going to be beautiful for this forest, right? And so I probably will have to put on rocks in here because these are not all going to stand by themselves. And this in the pot already looks quite like it's big, and well, are we going to run out of room? We might run out of room. But here we go. Those two are fusing together fairly nicely. Let me go ahead and clean off this last death from last year. Get that a little bit shorter and cut that one off. Okay. And now let's look at our other trees. Now this has a nice little wiggle on it, not too major for a forest. And again, in a forest, we like the trees to be, you know, kind of more straight up because they're reaching for the sun. We've got this smaller one, maybe for the back for perspective, and that still has way too big of roots on here. Thin roots on this one, but way too long. We want these eventually, they'll all snuggle together and form one big root mass eventually. But for today, we're just gonna, there we go. That one's kind of sitting back there. Here we go. Nice little forest. And then we have this beautiful root mass right here. And where's that one gonna go? So what I think is gonna happen is that this is the main tree right here. And then maybe this back tree goes in behind there, and these two kind of snug together over here. And if I put those two together like this and hide that wound a little bit. So look, they stand up already and don't even have any soil in there. But again, we want to make sure that these stay nice and firm and we don't get bumped by an animal. So now comes the challenge of seeing what do I like and what do I not like. And how can I move these around? So with a 5 clump, I didn't want them all completely together, although I might change my mind. I've got this little one in the back that you can kind of see between these 3 trees. And now keep this in mind too. I'm doing something out of the ordinary with the pot that I chose. This is a round Sarah Rayner pot. So this is going to be a forest that I want to look good no matter which way I turn the pot. And so that doesn't look so bad either. And that doesn't look so bad either, but these kind of crisscross a little bit there, more on that side. So, where does that go? Can that be like right about there? And then that could be an angle of the pot. So I want this composition to be really good where I like it because it's going to kind of all fuse together and be a big old tangled mess. So this one, do I turn this way because of that branch going out there? That would be a wise choice. These two are close. This one's far back, those two, but there's your 5. Not the best front right there, but this kind of looks okay right about here. Not too bad. This little one in the front is a little odd to have a tree like that, but look at this one right here with the big main trees here, this one off to the side. The other option, what if I want this more straight tree in the center there and this leaning one that leans to be more on the outside? This guy right over here. And if I twist this here, bring this in. Now this one doesn't fit that way, so maybe it has to be more twisted this way. And there's our 5. We got 2 up here, kittywampus. This kittywampus this way, and this solo one back here. Makes the other ones not look so good that way. And this isn't the biggest tree, so that's not the mother tree or the father tree, if you will. So I kind of liked this angle here, right there. I like that one a little bit better. I think that formed too much of a row back there, so I want to move this one back out over here to be with this guy, and then this threesome can be over here, a little bit more like this. I think when they're all together, they look too uniform. And now the top is kind of not looking so good right there. You need some rocks in here to hold these into a certain pattern. So one thing I liked about forests is when they have this lean from the center, so they're all growing from this kind of center hill there. That's a little bit better of a placement. And so if that's a little bit center right there, this is as much a clump style as it is a forest because it's only 5 trees. And it almost looks like they're all growing from this little tip of a hill or something, this mound up here, that they all kind of found a home. They all came in similar years. We got similar thicknesses. And now as I tampen down some of the soil, that's where I can hold on to the tree and position the tree and hope it kind of hugs tight to that. Oh, I bumped that. There we go. Got to be careful when you're working on these trees. Get that more leaning. Get that curve into the picture a little bit more. This one leaning and a little bit more up front maybe. I'm going to give this thing a water too. That helps kind of hold things in place a little bit better because I'm close to where I like it. Yeah, doesn't even look so bad now from this side right here. Here's the main tree. These are leaning that way. This one's right in front of this one, leaning in the back. That's a really nice structure there. And then this doesn't look so bad here either, with this kind of being the main tree. But this kind of opens up and hugs us a little bit more. You see that side versus that side. But even the side views are not too horrible. I really like where it just landed right there. Let's make sure we have water through and through on that guy right there, holding these things together. I love forests, and they're so fun to create. They're very challenging to work on later in life to make sure all the leaves and branches are going the right direction, but this is so much fun. And then what I would really love to have is a whole bunch of moss for this pot right now. But you know what? These trees are going to love this pot. And they're going to love being out in the sunshine soon. So they are all ready to break. There are buds everywhere. There's a couple of buds on this tree way down low here, I believe. There's a couple of buds in here at the tips, of course, and they are ready to pop. Now, they've been outside all winter long. This is the first time they're in the PSGF. So now they're going to be in the PSGF because I want to make sure they're taken care of after when? After this repot. I just stressed this tree out. I stressed these trees out. And so it's going to get below freezing for the next 3 nights. So this can't go back outside now. It has to stay in the beautiful PSGF, even if it's right over here. Look at that lovely positioning right there. So there we have it. Now I've already done a couple of trims on these trees just outside this spring. Some of the old, you could tell where things were dying. I don't know that I'm going to cut anything more except for, what should I do? That tip looks like it's in a tough shape. I'm going to leave that bud there. That bud I'm leaving there. I'm going to leave those buds there for now. I'm going to cut off this dead piece. There's a little bit, maybe 2 buds right there. This has got some weird growth coming inside here. So let's go ahead and just shave this a little bit tighter right there. as it's going out that way and splits here nicely. And there's beautiful buds here, there's beautiful buds there, and beautiful buds there, and beautiful buds there. This tree will look really nice this year. And then we just have to figure this out. I think this is just going to be an eyesore, so we're going to cut that off right there. And it just provides some movement for our tree. There we go. And there's a little bud right down here and a bud right down here, 2 buds right there, 2 buds right. This is in lovely shape. So there we go. There's the tree in the sun there with the close-up cam. There's the back of that forest. Oh, we have 3 buds competing right here. Let's get rid of that one and leave those other ones going. All right. Short and sweet. I love this Sarah Rayner pot that I got last year, and I wanted to put something maple in this tree, and I knew I had some of these seedlings. And yes, is this young? Yes. But is it going to grow into a fun little forest? Yeah. Give me 2-3 years, and this is going to be a nice little plume of leaves, and then we'll defoliate after this year. Maybe after it hardens off the first time, we'll defoliate, and we'll see what grows back and how much size reduction we get. But we just want to have a lovely forest, or this kind of 5 clump, if you will. So there you go. I have fun with these. I really do. I hope you do as well. Take care of you. Take care of your bonsai. We'll catch you on the next one.
Welcome to Bonsai Acres.